Hey everyone, Runer here, and welcome back to our new series, Professionally Unqualified, where we are trying a new profession for 2 weeks at a time to see exactly how we feel about each one and kind of get some idea for them. So every 2 weeks, we are going to be spinning a wheel to see what we get to play. And as you can tell, we may have missed the clip for this wheel here, so we're just going to put this there. Anyway, next one we got was engineer. So we get more into the medium professions, which honestly I had assumed would be my top ones based on my preferred archetypes for playing games. But let's take a look at the engineer and see what it's all about. So engineer is one of the 3 medium armor professions. Similar to Elementalist, they lack a second weapon slot, so there's no weapon swapping. To make up for that, they do have a heavy focus on skills called kits. Kits are one of the more unique features about engineers since it gives you access to 5 new weapon skills. These range from grenades, bombs, and even a med kit that you can use to heal your allies. You can even get a flamethrower for these kits. As with their name, engineers are quite crafty. They can even lay down turrets to help them in battle. They have quite a few unique skills, including potions. And the best part is every single utility skill you choose will have a tool belt skill that corresponds to it. This allows for a little bit of diversity and stuff like that. Your racial abilities will even change your tool belt skills. Engineers currently have 3 elite specs: the Scrapper, the Hollowsmith, and the Mechanist, with Amalgams soon to come with a VOE. But with that, I want to get into each elite spec separately, just general pros and cons we had while playing. For reference, we spent about 2 weeks on Engineer doing all forms of PvE content from open world, fractals, convergent CMs, and everything in between. This review is generally based solely on PvE, not world vs world or structured PvP. But just as a note, I do play Engineer a lot in PvP. I don't know why, it's just what I usually main when I play PvP. I enjoy it, so you might enjoy it there as well. We'll do a quick recap on each elite spec, and then we'll get into how we felt while playing. First up is Scrapper. Scrapper gives engineers access to hammers as well as gyros, which count as well skills. So if you enjoy a good bonk playstyle, you'll probably like the Scrapper. Scrappers also get what I would consider one of the best skills in the game, and can come in extremely clutch in all forms of content, which is the function gyro. I cannot count the amount of times this has saved a team member in PvE and in PvP. It can also finish off a target, so it's extra value in PvP as well. Scrappers are generally quite scrappy, so the name fits. They have high survivability, and they're just generally quite fun overall. This was the spec I enjoyed the most during my time on Engineer. Hollowsmith will give engineers a main hand sword and some of the most unique skills called Exceed skills, and also a Photon Forge. So there's quite a bit to unpack here. Firstly, the Exceed skills. Hollow is the only profession in the game with these skills, and these will each match up with the amount of heat you have. Heat is generated by using Hollow's Photon Forge, which is pretty similar to a Shroud, which other specs do have, but it does not generate heat while active like this does. Your Exceed skills will have better effects the higher your heat. Honestly, Hollowsmith is so unique, and I suggest you check it out. It's a really high skill profession, so it's a ton of fun. Mechanist gives engineers access to a main hand mace and the profession skills that they've been lacking, which is signets. The biggest feature of Mechanist is obviously the mech. You get a green Big Hero 6, just kind of always at your side. And it has a lot of unique skills based on your traits you choose, so you can customize it as a heal a lack bot or just good DPS. Embry ended up playing a lot of mech, and once she got the hang of how a lack was provided, she did extremely well there. Mechanist is also a very easy profession to play as DPS. Rifle Mech has an amazing low intensity build, so if you're looking for like a low APM, you could definitely check this one out. So how did we overall feel about NG during our time playing it? We did have fun. It's not our least favorite profession, but we felt like it lacked something because so many builds were super heavily focused on kits, which neither of us really enjoy. I will say there's some good low intensity builds that can be utilized for sure. We brought these into Convergences, they're great. But with that said, let's just get into our pros and cons. These pros are in no particular order, just things we kind of noted while playing. So with that, the first up is Function Gyro. This skill's amazing. It was honestly one of my favorite skills while playing NG. It can do big team saves and group content, and even in open world, it just in general feels really good. It made me want to continue playing Scrapper more, and Scrapper was already my favorite spec of the three, so that leads into my next pro, which is Scrapper. Scrapper was a ton of fun. You feel really tanky, you feel really strong, you have lots of AoEs, great amounts of boons you can provide, and a lot of combo fields and finishers. Overall, Scrapper was my favorite spec for a good reason, and it paired really well with the Function Gyro. You can just do a lot for the group. You can run quick DPS or heals if you want, which just brings a lot more to the party. So M is obviously a heal main, and she actually enjoyed Heal a Lock mech. It's quite simple, provides 100% uptime on a lock quite easily, and you have a lot of skills at your disposal. It does take some time to use the boons pulsing from your mech rather than yourself, but once you learn that and you get the placement down, it's really good. Of all the engineer specs, Holosmith is probably the most unique. From its exceed skills to its heat gauge, this is one of the specs I think more people need to try out. It does have a very high skill floor, so this is one I would be more interested to go back and learn myself. Give Holo a chance, you probably won't regret it, it's a lot of fun. This is kind of an odd pro, but the addition of Signet skills from Mechanist was kind of a blessing, because it made it a lot less kit heavy, which we didn't enjoy kits, so that just made Mechanist a lot more fun. I know this is an odd one, we're aware of that, Signets were just a good addition, we don't really like kits. Next, we'll go over some cons for the Engineer. These are in no particular order, except for maybe the first one, just some things we noted while playing. So everyone who watched us playing NG during these 2 weeks, this is going to be no surprise to you, but our first con, kits. We don't like kits at all. I'm not sure why. In fact, they were our least favorite part of Engineer, and honestly, we hated how forced they felt. Most builds seem to require them, so it just kind of killed the vibe for most things for us. The big bulky mech is kind of a bit much, so the mech overall is a little fun side buddy you gotta bring with you. The mech is large and just always there, always in the way. Just way too big green glowing mech. A little bit annoying, there's no skins, so it eventually becomes quite a generic look, and they're just a bit much for us. Unfortunately, this one made the list, but turrets, I think this is unfortunate because I like turrets. I like them a lot more than kits, but they're just not overly useful. It's an AoE placement with some damage. Arguably, turrets are mainly useful to people who like to sit in a single spot and farm. So if they added a trait that maybe lets you bring these with you and drag the turret somewhere, they might be more valuable, but in the current state, they're just kind of not super useful. Underwater is lacking a bit. This is kind of an odd one because underwater is not huge, but underwater for NGs is just bad. You only have access to one underwater weapon. A lot of skills just generally aren't good and don't work under there. The mech doesn't even work under there properly. This is just a general issue for stuff. You don't notice it a ton unless you're farming like levies or something like that a lot, but it is definitely something to note. Well, with all that, I hope that gave you some insight into NG and maybe made you want to check it out. Engineer can be a lot of fun, and there's some low intensity builds that I think are great for people. You should definitely check those out if you want like a lower APM kind of playing style. Just as a heads up, we are Arena partners, so if you're interested in picking up the newest expansion of Visions of Eternity, our link will be below. We appreciate every one of you who supports us. We have actually finished switching professions for now, so we just kind of play whatever we're feeling at the time. And this whole thing really helped us expand our roster and kind of playing more builds than we would have before. If you have anything you'd like to add, please feel free to leave a sub and a comment down below. We do stream this overall on Twitch, so if you want to check us out there, feel free to head over to Twitch.
Terrifier trilogy is something.
We don't watch clown ones.
Nope, I'm scared of clowns.
Did you say trilogy? Do you mean trilogy?
Trilogy. Yes. My brain is broken. Shut up.
But with that said, we will see you in the next video.
I guess that I was hoping I could break your